चल रहा है क्या कनेक्शन? Morning. Is it visible? Clear? Okay. वो पर्दा डाल दो, बहुत क्लियर लग रही है. हाँ, लाइट ना है ना, जूम कर. ये तो जूम नहीं होगा. Okay, so आज we'll finish off Tableau. There are two things left. One is dashboard and the other is storytelling. So you know what a dashboard is? No? Car ke, you would have seen dashboard. So it is one area where you can see multiple reports or graphs or visuals. So same thing here also. You can design a dashboard to display different things, different stories of a, you can say, of your performance, company performance reports, etc. Anyone यहाँ पे कोई है artist, any artist जिसने, or designer, anyone? नहीं formal या ऐसे as a hobby कोई करता है, drawing, painting, photography. No one. The reason I ask this, the designing of dashboard is all aesthetics. It's a skill to design the, what do you call, the interface or the UI. आपने UI देखा होगा ना, a lot of applications. Now, why is it so beautiful? And there are some applications which are so cluttered. ऐसा क्यों होता है? So the designing is very important. Choice of colors, choice of font. Then how do you read? आप पढ़ते कैसे हो? When you have a book or when you're looking at a screen, how do you read? Flow कैसा रहता? Left to right and top to bottom. ठीक है, ये basic है. So designing a dashboard is also, it has to follow the same pattern. The information has to flow from left to right, top to bottom. Okay. Now, how many graphs can you include on a given page? Can you put a 5 by 5 matrix, 25 graphs in a page, 5 rows, 5 columns, and show 25 graphs? कैसा लगेगा? It is not complex. It becomes very cluttered. You can't make out. Okay. So how do you design an effective dashboard which gives you the meaning? If you take 3 by 3, for example, or 3 by 2. Okay. So the designing is entirely up to the individual. How to design, how the information should flow. It has to be, there has to be a logical information. You cannot start from a summary and end with the basic. So it has to start from the initial graph, then come to the end of it. Okay. So this is all about designing and arranging and all the other things. So to design a dashboard, if you look at this icon at the end, so there are 3 boxes. One is for new sheet, which we have already seen. Then we have a new dashboard next to it. Then to the right of it, we have a new story. Okay, so we'll click on new dashboard. So the first thing that you see on a dashboard is the default property. Below that, you see the size of the canvas, which is this one. Okay, so this is the canvas. This is the setting of the canvas. This is where you can format the shape and size. This section here, these are the list of sheets that we have created in Tableau. Okay, so this is what we'll be importing into the dashboard. Then these are the other objects that you can include within your dashboard. Okay, for example, I want to include a custom image as a background or a company logo. Okay, or a custom text. Okay, so these are the miscellaneous things that you can include. You can also include a link to an external website. All these things can be included here. Then here you have two options, tiled and floating. So this means whether you want to resize your sheet, yes or no. So by default, you will see it is tiled. So tiled means once you drag a certain page, a certain sheet, you cannot resize it. Okay, it will be as it is. But if you want to include multiple pages, you have to use the floating option. So once you drag it, you can resize it so that you can include multiple sheets. And then the last one is show dashboard title, whether you want a title for your dashboard, yes or no. So let's start with the first one, that is how to change the size of the dashboard. So the default is phone view. So this you can change. So what are the different formats you can see here? One second. Okay, so this is the device preview. And here you can see the different types are model, that is a phone, desktop, laptop. These are the other models that you have. Okay. So we have a desktop model, that is it will fit into a desktop, which is 1280 by 800. Tablet is slightly less and phone is less than a tablet. Okay, so whichever way you want to design the dashboard for which device, you can use these options. Okay, so since we have a laptop, we are going to select desktop. Now come to the next part, the size. So you can customize the size by giving the width and the height. So here it says minimum size and maximum size, width and height. So what should be the minimum width? What should be the maximum width? So if I increase this, you will see that the width is changing. Okay, so I'm going to increase this till the width that I want. So it is now one thing that you can avoid is scrolling to the left and scrolling to the bottom. Okay, you want a dashboard where everything is seen without scrolling left and right. So you can reduce this maybe to, let's say 1400. If I take 1550, maybe I can take 1600 and see. So this you can customize it according to how much you want. $1600. $1625 and height I'll take 770. Let's see. Customization नहीं है. ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? 1 second.
साइज डेस्कटॉप के बाद उसमें डिफॉल्ट पेट्रोल उसमें हाइट चेंज कर सकते हैं.
क्या हुआ?
तो ड्राइव को भी बनाएंगे. ये तीन है. ये ड्राइव
कौन सा ऑप्शन सेलेक्ट किया? Default. Dashboard. I think we went to the layout. Dashboard package. Select default. Default the default option. इसमें मिनिमम मैक्सिमम है, इस पे एक ही सेकंड लिखा है। इनफैक्ट वो ऑप्शन और बेटर है, instead of creating minimum width and maximum. हो गया basic settings. Now give the title if you want. So show dashboard title. So click करो तो यहाँ पे you will see the dashboard title. So you can double click and give the name. So you can call this sales. You can say sales performance. Okay. Now you can start designing your dashboard. So these are the list of charts available: line chart 1, line chart 2, line chart 3, bar chart, all the way till kya tha, maps. Okay. Now let us say that I want to put this line chart. Now if I drag it like this, Okay, so you'll get my first dashboard chart. Now, if you notice, it is occupying the whole screen. Okay, that is because it is the tiled option. So tile means you cannot resize. So isko Control Z karo and then select floating. And now drag line chart here. And now you can see that it has now reduced. Now, if you want, you can resize this. Just go click. So whatever size that you want, just go resize and then put it in the correct place. Okay. Now, if you don't want the heading to be seen in red, you can select the chart, double click, and then reduce the font size maybe to 8 and apply. Okay, any customization that you want, you can do it. So select this chart, double click. Suppose I want to make the title in the center. So select the center option. And now you will see total sum of sales yearly. Suppose I don't want to see the numbers. So click on this chart and click on this T, that is the labels. Okay, so click on this, so the labels will be gone. Okay. Now, suppose you want to give a border to this chart. So select this chart and go to this option called layout. Select the border option and then select the line. Now this will put a black border around it. बॉर्डर के लिए पहले चार्ट सेलेक्ट करो, go to layout, then go to the border option here, select the type of line. So you have dark solid line, broken line, big, broken line, small, and dotted lines. Okay, this is the width of the border. So thin se leke thick. So select the width. So I want solid line, thin, and the color. Abhi kaun sa color chahiye? So you can select any color. So I'm taking the default as black and then click outside. Now this will put a border around it. Now you can select and then arrange this in wherever, whichever position that you want. Okay. Now do the same thing for the next set. So take the bar chart if you want. So here it says region wise total sales. So I want to do the similar operation. First, select this chart, double click, reduce this font to 8 and center align. Okay. Now select this chart. Now I want to flip the contents. So select the chart and click on the swap rows and columns so that I can see a more detailed view. And then you can drag it. You don't want the labels to be seen, click on this. If you want to do the sorting, you can do it here. And then put a border.
अगर हमारे इसमें फिल्टर लगा होगा
फिल्टर भी आ जाएगा
तो वो सारी चीजें भी आएंगी वो अगर मैंने रिमूव कर दी मतलब मेरे डैशबोर्ड से वो अगर मुझे वापस करना तो कैसे आएगा
you can add the filter
सिर्फ फिल्टर
Okay, so this is the second one. So like this, you can keep adding the charts according to the flow. Then next one, you can add it like this. Let's say pie chart. You are getting the headings, the ship mode. Okay, now this belongs to the pie chart. So you need to drag it to the right place. Then remove the then go to the layout, border. ठीक है। Now this is the presentation mode. If you click on this option at the top. So click on the presentation mode and now you get your dashboard. We are floating slides. Click on this. So okay, now design the dashboard, finish it. Include 6 more charts and do the dashboard.
So would I click
Based on what?
Shipment and shipment.
ये shipment mode है ना? Shipment mode पे क्या करना है?
Shipment cost features.
Shipment mode पे sales. You can see the standard navigation sales है. अभी इसका क्या करना है? Percentage निकालना है.
और क्या देना?
Percentage और sum. इसके with the sales to the also number 10%. See, these are design issues. Pie chart should look like a pie, okay, not an egg. This is not an, yeah, this looks like an egg chart.
Yearly, quarterly, this is the bar chart. This is the numbers numbers and the region wise this means मेरा filter color but इसमें सारे filters सारे regions नहीं right page to that इसको अगर मैं extend करूँगा then it may come but अगर इसको include करना filter add करना
तो उस पे क्लिक करो then add the video more options Customizing for this particular the dashboard is only a presentation. They cannot present individual.
सर ये चार्ट में फ्लोटिंग में रख देंगे
हाँ इसको you can drag and drop where you want क्या करना है
ये एक्चुअली सर रिलेवेंस यार चांस है बाहर
हाँ you can drag it अब कहाँ है
मैन्युअली करना
हाँ manually करना है Did you notice something now in this chart?
You change one to and it will flexible.
Well, I'll tell you what this is. Okay. See, I'm taking one region from region-wise sales. Okay. I have put a filter, then I have put north. Okay. So right now, this is the chart. Now, if I keep the cursor here, see how the values are changing. Okay. Now, if I keep north and south, and if I keep the cursor here, okay. So this is how you add animation to your project, to your dashboard. Okay. This is called action filter. Okay. You first finish your dashboard, I'll show you.
So is it possible that if हमने tablet या mobile के लिए app design किया and it is like fit to other windows या desktop ऐसे
The size का issue है.
वो
It will resize.
मुझे याद है मैंने मैंने डेस्कटॉप के लिए मैंने टैबलेट के लिए ये डिजाइन कर दिया तो ये जब डेस्कटॉप पे उसको स्विच करने की कोशिश करता हूं तो
नहीं होगा. It will be a smaller display. और desktop को अगर आप if you view it in the mobile, you have to scroll. Okay. इसी क्या किया है? Okay, now whenever you gets transported to the dashboard. Okay. So if you want, you can remove the filter from the dashboard and you can get it back. Let's say that I have included a filter in the first one, which is total sum of sales yearly. Okay. And I have a filter in my actual sheet. Now, when you drag it, you also get the filter, which you can delete. If you want to get the filter back, you click this and there is a triangle at the bottom. On the right hand side, you have an X, that is to close, delete the sheet from the dashboard. The next one is go to sheet. That is, if you click this, you will go to the sheet and then you can design it. Then the next option is filter. And the last option is more options. So if you click on more options, here you can add filters. Okay, so here you have filter options. And here you have sum of sales and year of order date. So suppose I want to filter on order date. So click on this and you will get the filter back. Okay, same thing for the other sheets also. So you can customize filters on the dashboard. Okay. Okay. Now, how do you make this filter dynamic? Dynamic as in, now suppose I add 2011 to my total sales summary, it will show only 2011. If I include 2011 and 12, it will show me this. If I include 2013, it will show me this. Now, what I want is, whenever I select the year, my other details should also reflect for that year. Okay, so right now what is happening, if I select 2011, I'm getting the details for only 2011 for the first sheet, whereas the other sheets are showing for all the years. Correct? So I want the other sheets also to change depending upon the year that I change in the first sheet. So it should be linked. Suppose you want to create a dashboard like this, how to do? So that is called action. So the action on one will trigger on the others. Okay. So I'm going to create an action on this chart. Okay. So the sequence is create the action on this chart. What is the starting event? This sheet. Okay. When this changes, what should happen? So there are two things you need to define. Starting sheet action, and this causes change in what? Change in this. Where should it happen? It should happen on the entire worksheet. Okay. So you define like this. Now, when should this change? So there are three options. One is when I select, this should change. When I use the menu, this should change. Or when I hover the mouse on this chart, this should change. So we have three options, select any one. So usually we select the hovering, that is the easiest option. So the moment you keep the cursor here, you will see all these things change. Okay, so just like you design a trigger in SQL, same. So define the starting point, source. When this changes, what should change? Destination changes. Okay, so let's design this. Now to design this, you have to first keep the cursor on any of the sheets. Okay, from the dashboard, you won't be able to do it. So right now I'm in the dashboard. If you look at actions enable, okay, I think they have removed it now. So if I go to the dashboard, earlier, this option was not available. So now they have enabled it. So go to the action worksheet menu. Then go to actions.
For me, it's disabled.
Disabled, okay? Okay, then go to any of the sheets. So let's say this is the first sheet. Take it. So I'm going to the line chart D. So go to any sheet. So I am in the first chart. Now go to worksheet and actions. So click karo and you will get this option. So here you can see show the actions for this workbook or this sheet. So I want this to be applicable on the entire workbook. So select the workbook. Now what action that you want? So click on the action. The action is filter. So click on the filter. If you want, you can give a filter name. So let's say year of sales. Now, what is the source? That means I am selecting the starting point where the action is going to happen. So that is line chart D. So you disable this, disable this, disable this. So disable all the options and select only line chart sheet. Which is line chart D. Okay, the first chart. Baki sab you disable it. Not disable, deselect. Remove. Remove. So you should have only this option selected, line chart D, which is discrete, and other options all removed. Set also. Okay. Now look at the right hand side. It says run the action on. So what should be the event? So I have hover, select, and menu. Then I'm going to select this option called hover. Hover means the moment you do this, move the cursor on the chart, it should fire. The action should happen. So what is the action? That is in the target sheet. So target sheet, select dashboard. Now in the dashboard, which chart should change? So right now I have only 4 charts: bar chart, bubble chart, line chart, and pie chart. But line chart I have already selected, so remove the line chart from here. So the action will be applied on all the other sheets, and the trigger will be from line chart. So any action that you do on line chart, it will reflect the target sheets. Now what values that you want to show? Show all the values. Now click OK. And now you will see the entry added here, called year of sales, run on hover. The source is Superstore. And select all the fields. Click OK. Now let's see if it works. Come to the dashboard. Now hover it. And now you can see the change. You come out of it, you will see that it is again showing for all the years. Now select 2011 and 12. Keep the cursor. Now you can see the change. Okay, so this is how you can make your chart more user-friendly, more dynamic. Now, if I take 2013 and keep the cursor over it, now this will show you the details for 2013. So select all, keep the cursor here, 2013. Okay, so now you can customize it according to how you want to display the data. काम कर रहा है? Is it working? Tejas?
Yes, sir.
Manish, huh?
Is it similar to that icon that is users filter?
Which icon?
Users filter का icon
User filter.
use as
कहाँ पे है?
वहाँ पर चार्ट पर क्लिक करेंगे ना लाइन चार्ट पर क्लिक करेंगे
ये वाला?
Yes.
हाँ.
वहाँ पर वो थर्ड ऑप्शन क्लिक करेंगे तो हम सबका एनेबल करेंगे तो शायद वो हो सकता है इंटरएक्टिविटी बिटवीन द चार्ट
ये जो फिल्टर यहाँ पे सेट करेगा ना, ये फिल्टर देगा लाइन चार्ट जो तेरा स्टार्ट होगा।
अच्छा, ये यूजर्स फिल्टर ऑप्शन क्या है? I don't know. I have never used it.
So if you do that users filter now, so if you select 2012 lines are na, all the charts will get one.
अच्छा, I have never tried it. ठीक है,
यहाँ
इसको
पे
रिमूव करता हूँ.
सोर्स देखो तो सोर्स आपका डैशबोर्ड दिखाएगा। तो अब चार्ट जैसा कि चार्ट में हमने बताया ना, हमारा सोर्स ऊपर स्टोर दिखा रहा है, राइट?
So just click on lines now.
एक मिनट. You said this option. Users filter. Okay.
Now if you click on 2013 now. Just remove that 2000 select. Select out. Yes. Now let's click on 2012.
अच्छा, क्लिक करना है. ओके.
तो क्लिक स्टेटमेंट पे बाय डिफॉल्ट।
अच्छा, ये क्लिक पे डिफॉल्ट. ओके.
अभी अगर आप ये अभी इस चार्ट पे अगर आप उस पे जाओगे ना, मेन चार्ट पे, तो उसमें आपको डेटा सोर्स जो हमने वहाँ पे सुपरस्टोर सिलेक्ट किया था, वहाँ पे हमारा डेटा सोर्स शो होगा, डैशबोर्ड वन दिख रहा है.
ओके. अच्छा, यहाँ पे यू नीड टू क्लिक. आई थिंक उसको कस्टमाइज कर सकते हैं. यू गो टू वर्कशीट एक्शंस. हाँ, सी इट हैज जनरेटेड दिस. उसको एडिट करके यू कैन होवर. यस. ठीक है. So this is the dashboard option. The last one is story. So the difference between a story and a dashboard is, in a story you can add only one sheet in one page. Okay, and then you can relate it as a page by page story of what happened. Okay. Other things are exactly the same. So you drag it and drop it. And then in the layout, you can do the other formatting. Now, here you can give a caption for your chapter. This is known as a chapter. Now, what chapter that you want to give? So you can give yearly sales performance, for example. Okay, now in the bottom of this chart, you will see the size of the story. So this you can customize. So this is my first page. Okay, now new page. Go to the layout. So here you have numbers, dots, arrows. So that means when you go to the next story, you will either see the number or an arrow mark. Right arrow mark will take you to the next sheet. Left arrow mark will take you to the previous sheet. So how do you want to customize those things? Okay. So here you have numbers. Now, how do you add a next story? Blank. Okay. Now add the next story. So drag and drop. So now you have two stories. Story number 1, order date. So, and then story number 2, this one. So give a title and then use this as a presentation. Okay, then click on blank, then replot, drag it. Okay, so how do you want to display? You want the story name, or do you want the page number, or do you want the dots, or do you want the arrow? So that is up to you. So if you want the story name, then click and give a caption. So yeah, this is area-wise sales. This is so yearly sales performance, area-wise, and then country-wise.
How to get the second page in that?
Go to the story and click on blank.
Oh.
So click on blank, it will create a new story. Now drag and drop the sheet that you want. Now you can have in yearly sales, area-wise sales, country-wise sales, and then India sales. Okay. हाँ कर सकते हैं ना, है ना, मैंने फिल्टर लगाया देखो कंट्री को. So that concludes Tableau.
Sir, after designing this dashboard and story, we publish it.
इस पे एक्चुअली ये वर्जन पे पब्लिश नहीं कर सकते, डेस्कटॉप पे यू कैन डू इट.
That we use for.
इस पे once you get the link, the public portion. You can use that link and then do the presentation. Okay, so that finishes Tableau. Do you want to start TensorFlow from today or from next week? कैसे करना है? आज से करें? Or do you want to discuss anything else? See, Tableau, TensorFlow से programming, no theory as such. एक 5 minutes का slide है, just to show some basic elements of a TensorFlow. But apart from that, it's all hands-on programming and all that. So, how's your programming skills?
Not so good. If you
मैं वही पूछा, do you want to start from today or start it? क्या करना है? करोगे sincerely?
Yes.
ठीक है, we'll take a break. 10:45 हुआ ना? We'll meet by 11. We'll do some Python hands-on. उसके बाद next week से we'll start. Deep learning last. Next week we'll have TensorFlow for 1 day. क्या हुआ? NLP है ना? क्या क्या बचा है? Tell me. Introduction to deep learning. TensorFlow है, I know. Deep learning है.
NLP है.
And NLP.
Deployment on cloud.
नहीं, वो तो मैं नहीं लूंगा. वो कोई बात नहीं, ठीक. These two topics will be covered by a different person. ठीक है, तो ऐसा करेंगे. Next Saturday we will start TensorFlow, and then that will get over in 1 day. वो करना है. ऑब्जेक्ट तो कितने लोगों को पता है? How many of you know OOPS? नाम सुना है? ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड समझा नहीं. Classes, incidents,